Hey guys, it's Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have Murkrow, who is a dark flying type Pokemon. And this Pokemon, I kind of really did lean into the visuals of this Pokemon a bit more compared to some other ones where it's more kind of just generic vibes, I guess. So yeah, this Pokemon looks like kind of like a little bit of a vulture, maybe. A lot more feathers than a vulture, but yeah, the feathers on its head kind of look like a hat, sort of like a witch's hat almost. And then yeah, the feathers on its tail kind of look like the end of a broom, so it definitely does give like witch vibes to me. So yeah, with this build I decided why not build a bar for some of the occult sims. It's not for all of them. But because this is a dark flying type Pokemon, I thought why not like kind of aim for witches and fairies, that sort of group of occult sims. I'm not really sure there's I'm not very confident with gameplay stuff, so like what you actually do with witches and fairies, but I don't know, I thought it'd be fun to kind of try and put together something that kind of would look like it accommodates those occult sims. So yeah, it is definitely a darker styled sort of bar. And I really do enjoy how this ended up. It's definitely something that's a little bit fun and unique and different to what I normally do. And it is that sort of darker style. If you watched the last video, you might know that, yeah, I'm very much into sort of darker builds, but they're more dark modern type builds, and this is not necessarily modern per se. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's modern. But yeah, it was a very fun and interesting build to kind of go around and play with and try and fix up and put together in a way that made sense in my little pea brain. Because yeah, there was just like a ton of things that I wanted to do. I had a ton of different ideas, but they weren't sitting together nicely in my head. So yeah, I did struggle a little bit at the start, as you can probably see. But I definitely did have a good time putting it together and having fun and kind of guessing how it all went together. But yeah, definitely stick around and at the end let me know your thoughts on this build, because I definitely love to know, especially if you are somebody who does do gameplay, or especially with occult type sims. Let me know like what I could have added to make it a bit more witchy and fairy-like. Yeah, and with the other occults, it wasn't quite the vibe I was thinking of. And you know what? If you've got other occulty sims, you could definitely have them hang out here. I've got no problem with that. You know, we're a very open place, and everyone can come and hang out here. But it's just known for witches and fairies to hang out here. You know, the other occults tend to have other places to hang out. But like I said, everyone's invited if they want to be. There's no exclusion here. It's just, yeah, it's definitely aiming for more fairy witch vibes, and I'm not entirely sure I got it. So yeah, like I've been saying, if you've got any tips or tricks or anything like that, definitely let me know. Like, let me know what I could have done better, what I did good, what I did bad, what you think is missing. Originally I was going to actually set it up like a bar. I think I have it as a generic lot, and what I was going to do was just hide all of the extra necessary items down in the basement without even making a room, just hiding it down there. But I kind of forgot to do that, so it's a generic lot. There is no bar. It's not an official bar lot, but it's definitely designed to be one. It does annoy me with certain lots that you have to have certain things that don't necessarily make sense. You know, I do understand that for bars that are modern, it would kind of make sense to have TVs and whatnot, but like I kind of want to build some, like, what if I wanted to build a tavern, right? Like an old tavern from before majority of us, well, I say majority, hopefully all of us, before all of us were even alive. But at the same time, like, I kind of can't because I have to put the TV in, but I don't want to put the TV in because it wouldn't be accurate. It wouldn't have a TV. So yeah, that's one little thing that does bother me about lot types with certain not recommendations, but requirements, is that, yeah, I would like it if we had less requirements and more like, oh, hey, if you're building a bar, it would be cool to put in a TV, but you don't have to. I do understand for like when you're going on dates and stuff like that, or if you're going out and doing events at bars, they probably have those things there for that reason, so that you can, like take people on dates and do things at those bars. Obviously at a bar you'd need a bar and bar stools and tables and stuff like that. But like, do I need a TV? I understand the toilet, everybody's gotta go at some point. But yeah, I just don't get the TV. That's the one thing, like, I'd like to be able to make builds without having to pick these things, having to put them in. And it just, yeah, it feels a little bit annoying because, yeah, I either have to make it a generic lot, and in that case it's technically not a bar, or I have to make it a bar and include items I don't want to include. And that kind of, yeah, just, I'd prefer it not be like that, you know what I mean? I'd prefer to just be able to make the decisions myself. But no, I do get why there are requirements for gameplay. Like, I get that I can wrap my head around. But yeah, it's just the TV. That's the only thing that's bothering me, is like, why do I have to put a TV there? But yeah, anyway, this lot, it does have a bathroom. I do remember to put one of those in. It's got a few like private seating areas, and it has a little balcony seating area. Originally there was going to be a balcony seating area above the entryway, but I just wasn't feeling it, so I just simply didn't do it, and I just did that little one off the side balcony there. And I'm not mad how it turned out. I kind of like how it turned out. There's also a dance floor and some music places. There's musical. There's a radio type thing. Actually, there's two radios. There's two different types of radios. So yeah, you can definitely dance here. You can definitely get drinks here. You can definitely sit and chat here. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's definitely designed to be for certain occult sims, but it's one of those things where, like, if you have different occults, you can definitely use different occults here. It's really not too, like, I'm not fussed or worried about what you use here, but that's just what I had in my mind. And obviously if you have different occults or different ideas, you can definitely do whatever you want, but I would love, yeah, if you could let me know how you use this build, because it's always interesting to hear about how people use builds. And like, I might have one idea, but you guys might have a different one. And I always find that kind of fascinating and fun to, I don't want to say mess around with, but to, to think about and discuss and whatnot. I also did do this build over on stream, so I think I had finished. No, I didn't. The previous build I did off stream. So I did this whole build on stream, and I did the whole next build on stream. And it was really good because we had some people hanging out and chatting, and it just felt really nice to be able to have feedback live in the moment. And I've also realized that I'm pretty quick at putting together the outside of the shell, like the shell of the build, but the inside of the build, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm totally making it up every time. So let me know down below, if you're a builder, what's your comfort zone? What's the thing you're comfortable with and good at, and what's the thing you struggle with? Because yeah, for me, it's the interior design. I get too many different ideas in my head, and sometimes the items I want to use are actually CC or they don't exist, and I've definitely imagined them up. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, do I use these things? Do I not? How do I figure it out? What am I doing? Whereas the shell of the build, like, I'm like, okay, I want the building to kind of look like this on the outside, and I want, I want to be able to put seating in, so I need to make it this big for this amount of seating, and I want to put bathrooms over here, so, the bathroom's got to be this big, sort of thing. Sometimes I don't even think about that. I just think, what the outside of the build looks like and making it look pretty, and then I kind of struggle with the interior, but you know, I think I did all right with this build. But yeah, like I said, definitely let me know down below your thoughts. Now at the back there is a bar area just behind this wall, but there's also a little gap where there's a lot of greenery. Well, there's meant to be a lot of greenery, but I kind of forgot to put it in during the stream. It was one of the things where I was like, oh, I'll come back to that, and then I just completely forgot. So I did do it off camera, but it's only that tiny little patch beside the bar outside. But yeah, I really like how the outside ended up looking. I put in some really pretty fairy lights. I say fairy lights not made by fairies, but the fairy lights that we people call fairy lights, you know? Those ones, yeah. I put a lot of those in, and I should have put in things like, you know, like a place for the witches to drop off their brooms so that they didn't have to, I don't know, like, you know, if you're a motorcycle bar, you're gonna have places for people to park their motorbikes. If you're a normal bar, you're gonna have places for people to park cars, you know, or maybe be close to like public transport or something like that. Fairies can fly in and fly out, and that's fine. But yeah, witches on their brooms, I don't know. Maybe this is a bar that's like, we know people shouldn't drink and fly, so we're just gonna not let you drink and fly. We're gonna have no storage space for you to put your broom, so that people aren't flying home in a silly state. And I like that. I'm gonna go with that idea. But yeah, if you did want to, I guess you could kind of create a little what are they called? Broom storage by the entrance, I guess. Yeah, if you're looking for somewhere to store your broom, we don't really have a place like that because yeah, we do not promote drinking and flying. I mean, fairies, you can't really not. But it's like drinking and walking. Like, people are gonna stumble and fall and whatever, but at least they're not gonna really cause major damage doing that to other people. You know, they're not gonna be a danger to the road or the skies. Maybe just to each other in the skies, but yeah, I don't think it's as dangerous. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you're a fairy, please don't drink and fly. Maybe they've got like, I don't know, like a fairy Uber, witch Uber. Maybe there's, you know, some people, you know, some people like to go out and drink and whatnot. Some people like to, I say like to, some people choose to Uber around those sorts of times. So maybe it's the sort of same thing with the witches and fairies, in that, yeah, there's some fairies that will fly you home and make sure you get home safe, or some witches as well. But I think that's, yeah, kind of fun and cool and interesting to think about, you know? Designated flying sober fairies and witches. I don't know, maybe they have like a spell that, you know, the bubble floats you home or something like that, or I don't know how it works. If you're a witch or a fairy, let me know, how do you get home safe? Because honestly, I'm not either one, and I don't know how you would get home safe. Also, I have had a little bit of a look at some of the build buy for the Adventure Awaits pack, and there's some stuff in that I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of cool. Like, some of the doors and windows I really like, some of the fencing. I haven't looked at the full build buy overview. I'm watching James Turner's build buy overview. I did have a look at the items in the pack, like on the EA app, but I don't know, I get more out of it. Like, I can read it more, I can understand it more, I can visualize it more if I can actually see people doing build buy overviews, because then yeah, I can actually, it's not just a picture, you know? There's here's all the swatches, and here's what it looks like, and here's the moving back and forward and all that sort of stuff. Wow, words are hard. Yeah, so it's something that I'm leaning more towards maybe I will get, but I'm just not too sure just yet. I'll finish watching the build buy overview. If you guys are watching it, I am up to where the blender is. That's where I'm up to currently. I'll definitely finish watching it, probably probably today, because I do want to know. I do want to see the stuff, and you know, hopefully I'll like it. Hopefully it'll be good. But yeah, I do feel like, I don't know, there's some packs and kits that I'm like absolutely obsessed with. I want straight away, and there are some that I'm like, yeah, I can wait. Like the kitchen clutter and the garage kit, those two, I didn't get straight away. I was like, they're cool, they're cute. I like the stuff in it, but I'm just not like absolutely blown away by it. I mean, they're fantastic items, don't get me wrong. And I do use, especially the kitchen clutter kit, I do use that quite a bit. But yeah, just having some items that I'm like, I just don't know if I'd ever use it, and I don't know if the items are worth it. But I do have a feeling that the moment I get the items in my game, I'll have a completely different outlook. Because like when you have it actually, I say in your hands, but in your game, you can see it, you can mess around with it, and you get all these cool ideas. But whereas, yeah, when you're looking at it on someone else's screen, or when you're looking at the pictures of it, it's just not as, I don't want to say fun and exciting, but I don't visualize as much of what I could do. So yeah, it's just not as, yeah, I don't know, I'm not as keen on it at the moment, but I bet you that I will absolutely be getting it and then obsessed with it within the 5 minutes that I got it. I'm not gonna pre-order it though. I wait for it to officially be released, because I don't want to buy something and then not be able to use it. You know what I mean? Like I just want to use it. I just want to, like it. I just want to use it. You know. So yeah, I definitely don't pre-order because of that. Because I just want it in my hands. I just want to be using it. I just want to play with it. And it's not easy for me to be patient sometimes. And yeah, especially if I'm really keen on waiting for a pack, it's like, how do you wait for something and know that you have it but you can't have it yet? So I just wait, and then I buy it, and then I can have it straight away. And it's like, oh well, see, it wasn't a big wait at all. It wasn't a big deal. Which, you know, either way, I'm still waiting. It's just the whole, I've bought it, now I want it. You know. I guess, yeah, a little bit of instant gratification there, but you know, that's fine. I just don't want to have to wait, you know. I just want the pack or the kit when I buy it. So yeah, that's why I don't pre-order. Yeah, definite impatience and massive desire just for the build items straight away. But yeah, let me know down below, like, are you somebody who likes to pre-order? I know not everybody can, but is it something you like to do? Do you like pre-ordering, or would you rather just have the item straight up? Like, would you rather have the item straight up, or are you happy to wait but know that you are going to get the item? Because yeah, I'm definitely I'll wait and then buy it person, as we've already established and I've yammered on about for 15 minutes. But yeah, I don't know, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, I also kind of absolutely run out of things to say. I will say with the landscaping with this build though, actually, I feel pretty happy with it. I do a little bit of mixing and matching with the items. I don't know how many packs I use, but I use a few. I don't know, I do try and keep certain things pack restricted in a sense, so that, yeah, if you guys want to use items and whatnot, like, it's not being, you know, there's not like 1,000 packs being used, and if you're pack restricted, you know, you're kind of getting trapped with it. But yeah, at the same time, I'm kind of getting to a point with landscaping where I'm starting to feel comfortable with adventuring and picking more things and changing it around. Also, apologies if you can hear my roommate. I don't know what they're doing out there, but it sounds like they're wrestling with a plastic bag or something. It's always when I go to sit down and record, that's when my roommates start making noise. Last time I tried to record, one of them thought, I'm gonna do the dishes, but I'm not gonna just do them, I'm gonna throw them, because it's really fun to do that. It's always the case when I start recording, because that roommate was sitting down doing nothing, being quiet, and I was like, perfect, I'm gonna go do my recording now. No, it's always the case. I don't know what it is. I swear they all just have like a sixth sense for this sort of thing. They're like, oh, you're recording? Yeah, let me just stick my hand in a blender. Like, why? Could you not do that until after I'm finished? No? Okay. And you know, with streaming, I don't mind. Like, people exist and they can live lives and whatever, but like, I just need 25 minutes to record this video, that's all. That's all. But no, at the end of the day, it's fine. Like, I know my roommates exist and live and whatnot, and I can't expect them to tiptoe around everything. It's just they time it so well, or I time it so poorly. I swear, I'm like, okay, you're all sitting down being quiet, like, cool, fantastic, perfect time. And they're like, oh, you want me to be quiet? Oh, yeah, just, don't mind me, I'm just gonna, stick my hand in a blender, I'm gonna wrestle with a plastic bag, I'm gonna throw dishes across the house, like, just gonna have fun with all this noise, and yeah, don't mind me. And it's like, oh, okay, bud. Okay. But to be fair, I don't really sit down and tell them, like, hey, I'm about to record, so, you know, they don't really know. But yeah, it's definitely a joy. It's so much fun when I'm just trying to get a little bit of something done, trying to time it with the quiet times, and yeah. So although I did fix my mic settings a little bit, so you might not have heard them at all in the background. There's been times where like I have just pretended that nothing's happening and you can definitely hear what they're doing in the background. And there have been other times where I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, like I hope you guys can't hear them, and I go back and listen and there's no sound, so I sound crazy. But yeah, because of the fact that I've changed my mic settings, I'm a little bit less inclined to talk about it in the future. Because yeah, you can't even hear my cat purring loudly right next to the microphone half the time, because of the new settings, which, like, great that you can't hear background noise, but that, could we pick just that up? That would be beautiful and amazing and wonderful. If I were listening to somebody in a video and I heard a cat purring, I would just feel like 10,000 times better, you know? I would just feel so relaxed, so calm, and just so happy. So yeah, it makes me a little sad that you can't hear her, but I mean, she's not even here right now. Yeah, she spends like half her time asleep on my desk, and then the other half of the time sleeping hidden elsewhere. She's just a little silly kid. But I am washing my sheets at the moment, so it's probably a good thing that she's not in here, because I know she would immediately jump on the bed and try and sleep on it. And I've got no sheets on it, so yeah, hopefully I can get them back on before she tries to sleep on them again. But yeah, she generally sleeps on my bed. Most of the time, it's afternoon, evening time when she sleeps on my bed, but sometimes during the day, so hopefully, yeah, she doesn't need to. But yeah, anyway, the build. We probably should talk about the build. I did slowly but surely start running out of, stuff to put in the garden, so there might be a few patches of the garden that feel a little bit empty, but I'm not too mad with how it turned out. I think it's definitely something that, you know, I could have just left it how I had it, left it blank, struggled with it, you know, been frustrated and all that sort of stuff, but I think the way I ended up doing it, I'm not too mad. I think it turned out pretty well, and to me it definitely does give witch and fairy vibes, like a mixture of the two, you know? And it was a bit hard because of the fact that I have the platforms raised up on foundation. No, because I have the build raised up on foundation. There's no platforms in this build. Some of the plants were glitching and jumping up, and some of them weren't. I believe the problem is if it's debug, they jump up, and if it's not debug, they don't. But I could be wrong. It could be the other way around. So yeah, if you're ever having that problem, just have a look. Is it debug? Is it not? I think that's the issue, because I've heard people talking about that as an issue before, and it makes sense. But anyway, we're jumping into the screenshots now, which means we're pretty much at the end of the video. So like I said earlier at the beginning, if you love it, if you hate it, definitely let me know. And if you do play with occult sims, please, please, please definitely let me know what you wish I had put in that I didn't. But yeah, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, more builds like this, hear me rambling and ranting more, hopefully mostly about Sims in the future, definitely make sure to subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.